Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and this morning we read from the Revelation to John, chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. And to the angel of the church in Sardis write, the words of him who has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. I know your works. You have the reputation of being alive, but you are dead. Wake up and strengthen what remains and is about to die, for I have not found your works complete in the sight of my God. Remember then what you received and heard, keep it and repent. If you will not wake up, I will come like a thief, and you will not know at what hour I will come against you. Yet you still have a few names in Sardis, people who have not soiled their garments, and they will walk with me in white, for they are worthy. The one who conquers will be clothed thus in white garments, and I will never blot his name out of the book of life. I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. So this church in Sardis is one that seems alive, but it's dead. Sometimes I've asked sessions, what makes us different in the church? What makes us different from the Rotary Club? And no one can give me a good answer. They do good things, we do good things. They gather and sing old songs, and we sing old songs. And they talk lovingly about whoever it was that founded the club, and we do kind of the same thing. What makes us different is what? It's our faith in Jesus Christ, and it's our faith that is alive and that keeps us going from day to day and moment to moment. Well, they don't have that faith here. It says they're about to die, or they are already dead in some cases, and that's a fairly harsh condemnation, don't you think? So they're called to repent, except for the few that have not soiled their garments, and then it switches to this metaphor about your garments, and the one who conquers will be clothed in white. Now, it was very hard to get white fabric in the ancient world. It was just hard to bleach it out. They did what they could, but to get a pure white was something difficult. It was a goal they attempted to reach, but rarely got there. And the one who conquers will be given white garments, and his name will not be blotted out of the book of life, and he will confess his name before my Father's. And so there's all this stuff about your name, and what's a good name to have. So you want to have the name of being alive and being obedient to Jesus, and that's hard for any group of people. It's hard for the church. We get tangled up in all kinds of side issues. We get hung up sometimes in political stuff. Other times we get hung up in do-gooder stuff. We got to figure out a shelter for the homeless. Now, it's good to have a shelter for the homeless. They need a shelter, and it's good if we can provide one. But that's not ultimately what we are here for. That's not the final mission of the church. So feeding the hungry and clothing the naked and giving them shelter, all that's important, and Jesus calls us to do those things. But that's what we're called to do in response to his grace, not what we're put here for. There's a distinction there, and we get tangled up in some of that stuff so much sometimes, I think, that we forget what we're doing and why we're here. So don't forget why we're here, and have a great Wednesday on this rainy day, and we will see you tomorrow morning.